away. And I like how they scream like the ones in Kingdom. Did you watch Kingdom?
I watched just the first few episodes. I'm not very far into it yet.
They're like, ah! And
These were
they
angry zombies.
Yeah,
like
they're scary.
28 Days Later zombies.
Yeah, they turn fast. In fact, they like Ben always says 28 Days Later are not actually zombies because they're not undead, which I don't really agree with. But we don't really know if these ones are undead either. They may not be. Like if that one guy at the end's wife was actually starving, maybe they're not technically the undead zombies types, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they don't die first. Like in Walking Dead, you die and then you come back.
Then you come back, yeah.
So that's clearly undead. But these ones, that guy was fully alive when he turned.
Yeah.
The neighbor guy.
And I mean, it can be that way sometimes in zombie shows where even in The Walking Dead, Jim, he got bitten. I mean, I guess, did he die and then turn? Yeah. I think
we don't
so.
know.
Anyway,
We never saw the end of him. Right? They left him by the side of the road and they drove away.
That's true. Yeah. Well, anyway, that argument is so interesting to me. So, a few other things that we learn about the Zeds in this, because there's always different rules for different shows and movies. They respond mostly to noise, not smell. Like that one eyeless zombie walked right past him, and
I really want to know where his eyes went. That was so scary.
Yeah, what happened? And then the news said a lot of interesting things. They said the fine dust level has risen to record levels since the beginning of the year. So maybe that was related. Like there was something in the dust. They also, within 7 minutes of the movie, the news was saying the situation in major cities is out of control. So it seems like it spread really fast. The news said the major symptoms were screaming, bleeding of the eyes, and cannibalistic behavior, which I would say is a telltale sign of something wrong.
Yeah. Once you get to cannibalistic behavior, you're kind of too late.
You should go to the ER right away.
Yeah. Well,
and eat everyone there.
Yeah.
They said it was a mutated virus acting on the brain. That infection spreads through the transfer of blood, which spreads through bites and stab wounds. I wasn't sure what they meant by that. Like it just, if you stab a zombie and get blood on you, might turn. I don't know.
That wasn't clear.
And then the news said, as you mentioned, they retained behavior patterns from before they were infected, which is, Romero has that a lot, like opening a door or window. Some even remember their jobs and repeat specific behaviors, which was foreshadowing for the fireman zombie. And I like that. I like when they remember things.
Yeah. Again, it's scarier when they have skills.
And they go to the mall and just shamble around. Okay, next one.
The lead, In You, I recognized him right away. He was also the lead in Burning, which is...
Oh, shit, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, a Korean thriller film that stars Steve Yeun, and it's an excellent film. It's really good. I really recommend it.
I got to talk to Steven Yeun about that.
Yeah.
And I asked him if his character, because it was sort of ambiguous whether he was actually a bad guy or not.
Yeah.
And he if you don't want to hear what Steven Yeun said, skip ahead like 10 seconds right now. He said he's a bad guy.
Yeah. I didn't think it was that unclear, but yeah. It's a beautiful film, really well made. Mm-hmm. I thought his performance was excellent. I really felt his despair, especially the scene when he first sees Eugene. No, that's not her name. What is her name? Yubin. Across the way, and he's not sure if she's real, so he starts like hitting his head because he had just hallucinated his family so realistically. Mm-hmm. I really felt that.
Yeah.
And of course the hanging scene was really, really sad.
He was great.
I thought he was great, and I love his giant grin. He would get that huge grin on his face, like when he got some food finally. And he had a mouthful of like nut bar, and he had this huge grin. It was so charming. It made me really like, I don't know, my heart went out to him. I read a review where somebody said that the characters were generic, and it is true that we don't get a lot of like personal details about them. There's not a lot of time for it. And I think that rather than saying generic, a better word would be archetypal, that they're both supposed to represent sort of general millennial characters, just like young people who are caught in this, and that they're given sort of not that individuated of characters so that so that anyone can put themselves in the place of those characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this thing from the 16th century called Commedia dell'arte, and it was the prevailing form of theater in Europe at the time, and all of the characters were archetypes, and that was intentional so that the audience could identify, who's who right away, and they could get right to the story and not have to spend time setting up the characters. And I felt like this was sort of similar. It was like, you don't need to spend a lot of time getting to understand a young man who plays video games. Like, we've all met that person, so you can jump right into the story.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with them not being quirky or more individuated or something. The only problem I had was the sort of cliche about the guy being kind of dumb and idiotic and the woman being kind of too good for him, but they still, I mean, they didn't actually get together, but you kind of got the feeling it might be going that way. And I don't know. I just feel like, as a guy, slightly offended by that.
There is a lot of that, but I think that his initial presentation as being kind of dumb is incorrect. He's really resourceful. Like when that zombie gets in his house and he like hides at the bottom of the balcony railing and the zombie flips over the top, that was clever.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when he grabbed that bike to push all the zombies down the stairs, that was really clever. When he called the apartment next door to hers to like lure the zombies away. I don't know. I mean, I think he sort of came across as dope at first, but then as the movie progressed, you saw more and more resourcefulness and intelligence from him.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times that also fits into the cliche of it. Like, oh, look, he's shown that he actually is smarter than he appeared at first. But I guess that's fine. But also she was really critical. She said he was an idiot, shouldn't eat so fast, talks too loud, calls him ancient for mentioning Tom Cruise.
Oh, yeah. She calls him a moron at one point.
Yeah.
When he's like still hanging from the thing.
To me, I mean, I just don't like that it's okay to, like, that's, I don't know, it just bothers me. Like, it's okay to just keep insulting the guy like that. Yeah. But it was just a small thing. I thought, having said that, I thought that she was great in the role and that she was a good character. And I hope that they would stay together after the helicopter flew away. Yeah.
It felt very much to me like there's going to be a follow-up movie. Like, I was like, well, this isn't done. Like, there's going to be another movie. So I hope we see those two characters again.
Yeah.
They're great. I loved her action scene, like crossing the street. That was fantastic. When she went through the car, it was just such a good move. Like, all the zombies follow her, and then she goes out the other side. Like, yeah, clever.
And what made it better was they had that first, when he looked down and saw that policewoman.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, maybe, because he hadn't seen anyone for a while. And then he saw her, and I thought, oh, maybe she's going to make it and they'll connect. And you almost thought she starts shooting at them, and then they grab her and they're kind of dragging her, but I couldn't tell if maybe she had some kind of Kevlar on, I was hoping, or something, and they were biting at her. And then he starts yelling, and I'm like, oh yeah, see, maybe she's going to survive. And then they bit into her and dragged her off. And then soon after, you see her as a zombie.
Yeah, like 5 minutes later.
Yeah. And then, so I'm like, wow, that's pretty dark, but I kind of like it. They make you think a character's going to live and you hope they will. And then they don't. That's a horror movie. That's what's supposed to happen. But then when she was down there and she even saw that policewoman's gun and grabbed it, you think, oh shit. And then they grab her and start dragging her. But now he's become more courageous because he likes her, and it's later on and he's more desperate or whatever, but he saves her. So that was a good sort of way to make that scene even more tense than it already would have been. Yep.
I liked it. I had managed to forget about the gun by the time she grabbed it. I was like, oh yeah, the gun.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Very Chekhov there. Show a gun in the first act.
Yeah. So that gun, was that the gun they almost killed themselves with at the end? Probably was, right?
Yeah, it's the same gun. And they shoot the 8th floor guy and his wife.
Right. Which they probably should not have done.
No.
They should have just closed the door and left them in there.
Yeah.
Because then that gun drew a bunch of zombies.
Yeah.
To them. Oh, well.
Yeah. Live and learn.
It's got to happen.
Yeah. I didn't understand why they decided to kill each other at that moment, though. I was like, you just vanquished that guy, and now you have, like, his stash of food and water and like this rumor of a rescue team. Like, why is that the suicidal moment? I didn't really understand that part.
Well, I think they probably thought the guy lied about the rescue team for one thing, and he may have, and it might have just been a coincidence since he turned out to be a big liar and poisoner and everything.
Yeah.
But I kind of thought it was just because she thought, look, like they sort of represent the beginning of a possible relationship, and this couple is at the end of their relationship to the point where this guy loves his wife so much he would feed other people to her as a zombie, and she's just like, that's our future. I don't want that. I think it was that situation that, yeah, and I mean it's a little vague, but it seemed like it was just seeing that as a possible future for herself. Was like, no, I don't want that. Let's just end it now. That's
fair. I guess the person who can't let go of their spouse and feeds them people after they're a zombie is a little tropey at this point.
Yeah, well, it totally reminded me of the governor and his daughter, Penny.
Yeah, Penny. And there was also the Irish woman in season 4 that Rick meets, who's got just her husband's head. And
Herschel with all his family in the barn.
Yeah, Herschel with his family in the barn. And then another thing I'm thinking of that I don't want to say because it's a spoiler for somebody who maybe hasn't seen that other thing, so I'll drop it.
But yeah, there were a few Walking Dead. I mean, the Walking Dead themes, like that whole thing totally that guy could have been right out of Walking Dead, the guy at the end there. And also just deciding whether it's worthwhile to live. I mean, survival is going to be a theme in any zombie movie and any horror movie, but specifically like contemplating suicide happened in The Walking Dead a few times. And it makes sense to me in the zombie apocalypse that people would contemplate suicide, you know, especially early on.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather die from a gunshot than from being eaten.
Yeah. And this guy, what's his name again? The main guy?
His name is
Jun Woo. Jun Woo is like, he lost his parents and they were super important to him. Clearly he heard them die, and I think he might've thought he was the last person on Earth. Kind of like, I Am Legend.
Yeah.
Because then he was ready to kill himself, and really that was one of the big themes, survival. And that's why it's called #alive. And it was her with her laser pointer that caused him to change his mind. And you find out that she was getting ready to kill herself too. So it's another theme that just other people are what makes life worth living. And I thought that seemed so realistic. I could see myself in that situation, being alone in my apartment and just being like, well, there's zombies everywhere. I'm running out of food. There's no one around. What's the point? And then when you find out there is someone there, even if it hadn't been a cute girl.
Yeah. Any other person. Yeah.
Yeah. It would change everything.
He was also really excited about the 8th floor guy. He's like, now there's 3 of us.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. So that makes a big difference.
Some
loneliness people would rather
is
just
rough.
have nobody around, but yeah.
I thought the scenes depicting his loneliness were pretty heartbreaking, you know, like just like wandering around that small apartment and looking at the picture of his family over and over again. And like at one point he's like curled up on the sofa and he's just, the sadness was palpable.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was going to be a thing in the movie where he would get back on the computer with his gamer friends, but I guess the internet was just out, right?
Yeah, he tried that and the internet went out. There was like a blip and then it was like no connection. But yeah, I kind of thought that was going to happen too.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. We did get to see, I have a whole point on tech issues. Like, why did he have electricity the whole time? That was convenient.
Yeah. And the elevators worked.
The wireless headphones totally cracked me up. I keep a lot of analog stuff around because I'm always like, what if there's a time when, you know, the digital world doesn't work anymore and there's no internet? Like, I still have a VHS player. Like, I'm like, I might need it one day. But I thought losing the internet and phone services like one thing at a time really helped show the passage of time and like the ramping up of his loneliness and desperation.
Mm. You know what didn't show the passage of time well that I thought was super conspicuous?
His hair?
His short hair, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I love his hair style and his yellow dyed hair, and but then when you're going to have something that's so like standout, then it really stands out that it didn't grow over the course of it. It was at least a month.
Yeah. It looked a little longer in the very, very
Yeah.
last scene, but that's it.
Yeah. Maybe he
Yeah.
has one of those buzz cut things. They just didn't show it.
Yeah. It was great use of drone. The drone was really fun.
Yes.
I loved that.
I loved when the drone first went out. He taped his phone to it and used that like headset, and it went up and up and see it, the different floors of the apartment complex with all the herky jerky zombies in every apartment.
Yeah.
And they had a very Romero-esque kind of bum bum dun 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 like that kind of. It was just so great.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I love that moment.
And one of my favorite moments is when he's watching the news and then there's commercials. And he's like, commercials!
Like, really? And then there was a ramen commercial, and he ate some ramen, and I paused it and made some ramen for myself, too.
Oh, that's
'cause it
fantastic.
made me hungry.
And it said Last Supper on it. It was so sad. And then, of course, the heartbreaking delayed voicemail from his family where he thought, oh, they are alive. And then, of course, they're not.
Oh, I didn't quite get that. There was a few things I was confused by.
Yeah, so I think what happened was he lost signal, and so he never got that voicemail from his family at the beginning, and then he got signal like 4 days later, and he gets that voicemail, and he's like, oh, they are alive. They made it to my dad's office.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then he hears them die.
Okay. I thought that was in real time. That's why I was confused.
Yeah,
But
and
it was
meanwhile,
a
he's
voicemail.
hanging off the balcony, and I'm like, don't fall like that other idiot.
Yeah, that's another thing where they showed somebody dying and then set up a similar situation.
Yeah. It was just really, really, really sad to listen to his family's voicemail. And I don't know, I might want to kill myself after that too.
Yeah, that would be very, very upsetting. Well, I have one about cool, tense moments. Let's see if
cool.
there's any that we didn't talk about already. I like that it jumped right into it. He's in this fun gaming session, and then it's chaos. And I guess a lot of zombies movies are like that. It did remind me of the beginning of 2004 Dawn of the Dead, my favorite zombie movie, but it was more intense. And I love all the scared people running around, but mostly alive. And then the sounds, there's car crashes and screams and glass breaking, sirens, helicopters, and then an explosion. And of course you see a few Zeds biting people all within a few minutes. And then he looks out the window and he sees that schoolgirl hug her mom and then and start biting her.
That was intense. And the look on his face, like he went through such a range of emotions in like 40 seconds.
And then the thing with his sweaty neighbor coming in and he's got blood on him and it's like, what happened to your hand? Nothing.
Yeah.
It's fine. His eyes start bleeding. That's nothing. And then, watching him, we talked about that. And then the drone thing was freaking great. And then he dreamt of his parents, and it wasn't clear what was going on, but I was worried that he was dreaming and then they were actually zombies in his house.
That's a very Walking Dead thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so many times, like Rick would always be having a dream and then wake up and it was like, ah.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's why. And then he's like pissed off and he goes outside. He's more reckless with his golf club, and there's zombies chasing him around in the hallways. And when they tumbled out of the elevator, that was great because he goes around one hallway, they're there, he goes around the other, and then he's waiting for the elevator as they're running at him, and then the elevator door opens and a bunch of them tumble out. But then he somehow finds like some luggage to hide behind. That was a little unbelievable, but oh well. The fireman Zed was so great. We talked about that already. And then when he went to scavenge food from his neighbors.
Oh yeah, that was fantastic. With the
dark.
cushioned shoes, so he'd make less noise.
Yeah. And there's bloody handprints all over the hallway walls, and it's dark except for his headlamp, and there's dead bodies on the floor. We hope they're dead. And there's this really slow, quiet drum beat, just dunk, dunk, like that. And then I think he grabbed a key from the corpse and goes in, and he sees in the bedroom there's a veiny foot coming out from the blanket, and he throws a shoe at it and nothing happens, but I was fully expecting it to jump up at some point and attack him. And then he's going through the apartment and I'm like, you need a weapon. and then he scores the peanut butter. And I'm like, yeah, it's great that good things are happening. And then he sees a picture of two guys out in nature, and I think one of them was the guy from the beginning, his neighbor, and maybe they're mountain climbers and maybe they're brothers or something. And then he finds the headphones with the cable, which he needed for radio reception. He finds the Nutella. But the camera's close up on his face this whole time, and we can't see around him. And even though he's finding things, I'm like, get out of there.
Yeah. Well,
I just felt more tense the whole time.
The guy from the beginning, when he first came over and he was trying to be like, it's okay, calm down, let me in. My brother was acting weird, and he cuts him off, and you don't hear more. But I was like, his brother's in that apartment.
Yeah. And then he finds the jacket and zips it, and I'm like, that's kind of loud. And then he finds the walkie-talkies and turns one on, and it makes a sound, and I'm like, okay, maybe you are an idiot. And then he pulls the cover off the corpse in the bed, and it's a girl, and then you're like, oh wait, that's not the brother. Then where's the brother? And then it's like, boom, yeah, there he is.
And then that scene where he's holding the corpse in front of him, and he's going back and forth.
Yeah,
that was so funny,
using it as a barrier. But that was a really effective building up of tension and jump scare. It was just thrilling as hell. I loved it.
Yeah.
So good.
I was excited when he found the Nutella. I've always been a fan of Nutella.
Oh yeah.
Grew up with it.
Okay, what else?
Apocalypse survival kit. I'm adding a drone to my list for the apocalypse survival kit, in addition to machete, crowbar, first aid supplies, food,
duct tape.
Ooh, duct tape. I'll put duct tape on the list. What else should we put on the list?
Well, food and water.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like
first aid kit. I think you said that.
Yeah, I feel like in a collapsed society scenario, drugs are going to be good barter items. So
whiskey.
Yeah, booze. Oh, he had great booze.
I know. That's another thing. Was that because he said, "I'm sorry, Father," but that wasn't his father's apartment, was it? It was his apartment.
It's the whole family's apartment. He lived there with his...
Is the whole family?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because at the beginning, his mom has left him an envelope with cash that says, oh, we left too soon. I couldn't get food, buy groceries. So yeah, that was his father's liquor cabinet. And that was some pricey liquor. So I'm sure that he enjoyed it while he was drinking it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The food ration scene... Have you ever seen the movie The End of the World, the Seth Rogen, James Franco movie?
Oh yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, there's a great food rationing scene in that movie as well, where they lay out everything that they have, and it's we have this many candy bars and this many bottles of water, and then it's a pound of weed. Because it's a Seth Rogen movie. Yeah,
you don't want when you're trying to conserve your food.
Yeah, or to stay alert. I mean, I feel like if you're stoned, you're going to get ate by a zombie.
Yeah.
But I might put weed in my own apocalypse survival kit because I have anxiety. I might need it.
Yeah. You just have to be judicious about when you're going to use it.
Yeah. Make sure you're safe.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to do one about the rom-comminess.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Just a little bit. So I thought, he decided to hang himself, super intense. Then this laser pointer comes through, and I'm like, are they going to shoot him while he's hanging himself? But of course, I'm like, oh, of course, it's a hot girl around his age that's left. And I was like, why did it take 20 days before she made herself known? For one thing, that was weird. And then it's a little bit too awkward meet cute for the situation. The tone changed quickly. Mm-hmm. He acts a little bit like a doof because he's shy, like he's meeting a cute girl for the first time and wants to look cool. And I'm like, you just almost hanged yourself, and it's the zombie apocalypse, and suddenly we're in a romantic comedy. And then when they show each other their names on the tablets, it's this cute romantic comedy music, and he's being self-deprecating, and it's like they're at a high school dance or something. And then they have that cutesy argument about who cooks noodles the right way. And then she's, calling him an idiot and everything. And I don't know. I just, it felt like a bit of a tonal mismatch with the rest of the movie. But then there's the part of me that's like, it's fun. It's not supposed to be anything deep. And I did like them as a couple. So I don't know. It just felt a little too cheesy for me, I guess.
Yeah, it was a little cheesy, but they made up for it when they had her do that amazing flying leap off the building. I was like, oh, no, it's all worth it. She's awesome.
Yeah. It was cool to see her go through the no man's land, too.
That was great. The opening credits, I thought, were gorgeous.
Yeah.
And they kind of reminded me of True Blood. True Blood had really cool opening credits.
It did, yeah. It reminded me a little bit of any Resident Evil thing where they show like organs and cells and hypodermic needles, but then juxtaposed with the zombies growling and then like the fucked upness of post-apocalyptic scenery with the camera kind of twisting, turning clockwise slowly.
Yeah,
just very artfully done.
Yeah, they show the hallway and then flash to the hallway after the apocalypse. That was effective. I really liked it. The music was good too. Whatever that rap song was that he was very dancing to at one point, I was like, I need that. How do I get that? I got to get that.
I like the score too. It felt very Romero-esque to me.
I'm not very musical, so I don't usually notice things like the score until like a third or fourth watch.
Mm.
Like that's just in the background for me, and I'm much more likely to notice like visuals and stuff. And then on a third or fourth watch, I'll be like, hey, that's interesting music.
I think I was noticing it more on second watch for sure. But yeah. But I think when you do start noticing music like that, even if it's on third or fourth watch, then you realize, oh yeah, that added to my appreciation on first watch, even though I didn't realize it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It affects you subconsciously.
Yeah.
It's incredibly powerful. Whenever I love when people do like re-edits of like famous movie scenes and then they put different music underneath it, and it really brings home the point of how important the music is.
Yeah. There was one I saw of just a guy walking down the street and they played some like ominous music and you think he's evil and then they played like Indiana Jones music and it's like, oh, he's off on an adventure.
Yeah. Or like that recut trailer for The Shining where they make it like a romantic comedy called Shining. And it's like all happy, like fun romantic music. And you're like, interesting.
Some of the best music for a series recently, in my opinion, is Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
So good.
That score is good. I listened to most of the score and I was all creeped out in my own house. I was like, I don't think I should listen to this.
I got into the habit recently of listening to music as I drift off to sleep, and I put that on, and I couldn't sleep. I had to turn it off.
No, it's too creepy.
Mm-hmm.
But that, it's just really, really well done.
Yeah, it's a creepy show.
This reminded me of some other like high-rise building action movies, like Skyline and Attack the Block. Those are the only ones I could think of off the top of my head, but there were similar scenes in those about like dealing with tight hallways and doors that open that you don't realize somebody's behind them, and having to get to a roof. There's always having to get to a roof. I couldn't think of any others off the top of my head. Both of those are great.
I haven't seen either one of those. Yeah.
Skyline is a little cheesy, but not nearly as cheesy as its sequel. The sequel is horrible. Attack the Block is fantastic. It's based in like the projects in London, and it's this like group of sort of scraggly teens, and aliens attack, and they like band together with like the old people in their building. It's pretty great. Yeah.
Sounds cool. Let's talk about the guy at the end.
Oh yeah.
Now, I think that was actually my least favorite part. It wasn't horrible. I liked the movie, but it felt a little forced that she didn't trust him.
Yeah.
So much. I could see her being a little like, are you sure you're helpful? But he's offering you food in his apartment. I don't know. It seemed she was like, I don't know. I'm not going to drink that water. It might be poison. And then it was poison, I guess. Or somehow the guy got poisoned into them. I don't even know how he did it because he drank some of the water too. So how did he poison them?
Do you ever watch Justified?
I've seen it, but it's been a while. And I've only watched the first few seasons.
Oh. Well, the poison is already in the cup. It's in the cup. not the drink.
Oh, okay.
That's how they do that. But yeah,
Okay.
I thought that was a little cheeseball too. And I don't know if they were super thirsty at that point because they'd only been out of their own apartments for like 20 minutes or something. But uh, I don't think I would have been suspicious of him at that point.
Where did he get the poison? And he
Yeah.
mentioned a rescue team, and I didn't know if that was just a coincidence that there actually was a rescue. I guess that doesn't really matter, but
Yeah.
and then I didn't get the thing where she's asking him if he has kids, and he says no, but 2 kids came by today.
Yeah, I thought there might be a translation issue there because
Yeah,
it seemed really odd. But I mean,
yeah.
there was like
she
baby
saw something
formula.
wrong, and it was like, was this not really his apartment? Or I didn't really get.
But even if it wasn't really his apartment, that alone in that situation wouldn't necessarily.
Yeah.
I mean, he might have just lived like 3 doors down, and this one was empty.
It's not
like,
their apartment either. Yeah, they were going to the. And I also didn't understand why she wanted to go to the 8th floor.
She thought the 8th floor was empty, but it was a little bit of a weird, like, okay.
It was weird. I know 8 is a lucky number in Korea. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
But I don't know if that's part of it. And also his wife was conveniently quiet through all of it.
Yeah.
I guess she was starving. I don't know.
The whole rope system that he had was weird.
Yeah.
I was like, why are you still holding on to it?
Yeah. And also, why is, what's the guy's name again?
Jun Woo.
Jun Woo. Why was he holding the gun on him and going, "Can you hear me?" as his girlfriend's getting attacked by a zombie in the other room? It's
like shoot him.
I guess he didn't want to kill him. Maybe that's why he didn't want to be a killer.
Yeah, but he could have just shot him like
in the leg or something.
Yeah, and then gotten past him and shot off the lock of the door. And
it's like, you're yelling, "Can you hear me? She's being eaten right now. Get in there."
Yeah, exactly. There's no time to waste.
And then
yeah.
So I don't know. It was okay. It felt very much out of Walking Dead too, so I had like a been there, done that vibe to it all.
Yeah. I really wanted him to be a better villain, and I kept thinking about some of the characters in Parasite and how creepy they were, and I was like, I want him to be like that guy, like that Parasite guy. But
it was, I mean, he got this look on his face where he seemed like such a good guy when he, I think, mentioned the rescue helicopter. Oh, you didn't know? And then when he smoked a cigarette and they started to pass out, he looked more nefarious, and it was a pretty chilling transformation.
Yeah,
I guess,
I also wondered, like, had he fed other people to his wife? Because he said she's been starving for 2 days.
Yeah.
So
I think that's what it meant with the 2 kids, that maybe he fed kids to them or something.
He meant those 2 were his two kids, but
I don't know. Yeah.
That part was weird. Yeah. I watched the movie first in English, like overdubbed English with English subtitles, and then I watched it in Korean with English subtitles. The English with English subtitles, the spoken and the reading didn't match. And it was super distracting.
Yeah, that's often the case.
I was like, that's a wildly different line than that other line. Yeah, it was weird.
Right. Yeah, sometimes I guess one reason to do that is between the 2 translations, maybe you can get a better idea of what they're getting at.
Yeah.
I didn't understand why they heard a commotion and thought it was rain, but it was all those zombies running.
Yeah.
Why were they running?
I didn't understand that either. I mean, it was effective to think it was rain and then have it not be rain. That was cool, but I didn't know why they were running unless there was another noise that I just didn't hear because I didn't have my sound turned up loud enough, that like maybe the choppers or something.
I watched it twice and I didn't understand it either time.
And like not only did the zombies run around, they like ran into the apartment building. They showed them like, and I was like, how do they know to do that? Like, that part was a little weird and inconvenient. It kind of felt like maybe there was
a convention,
a moment that was cut out or something.
Yeah, it's weird. Must be a Korean thing.
Maybe.
And also since I'm asking all these questions, I didn't understand how he could know the phone number of the apartment to call to distract the zombies from. Like, is it a Korean thing where you can like deduce a phone number based on the apartment number or something? I don't know.
It reminded me of when I went to college. you could figure out people's phone numbers in the dorm because
wow.
they were in sequence. So you could be like, oh, if your number's this, then that person's number is that. And I was like, is it a dorm? Are they living in a dorm? Like, it was
yeah, maybe it was something like that.
Yeah. Or maybe like the intercom and not the phone that he called. I don't know. That part was a little weird.
It could very well be a Korean thing where like it's the same way in apartment complexes. Each apartment number has the next consecutive phone number or something.
Yeah. That was convenient, but also clever. She was really terrified.
They're outside.
And it gave them a chance to have them equally have saved each other. Right? Because like she saved him from hanging himself, and then he saved her from that. And it's part of the rom-com, I guess, to make them both need saving.
Yeah, they both have to respect each other.
Oh, one of my favorite moments was when he tried to use the fire hose and it just didn't work, and he ended up like ineffectively throwing just the fire hose at the zombies. It totally cracked me up.
I thought that was fun, but I wanted to see him use it on them.
Yeah, but we already saw that. Eugene did that.
I felt like it was aimed, like you said, it was a millennial movie, and you know, it's about a gamer / streamer with a cool hairstyle. But as an older guy, it rankled me a little bit when she said he was ancient for mentioning Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I thought that too. I was like, hey, he's still making Mission Impossible movies.
Top Gun is the top movie right now.
Because it's the 80s again.
And you would think the movie might have been made in response to COVID, but it was filmed in 2019, so nope.
Pre-COVID. But sort of ironically appropriate to our times of everyone being isolated.
I wish I had heard about this when it came out, because it would have been probably more meaningful to cover it back then when we were feeling even more isolated. Yeah. Or most of us. I'm sure some people still are.
Definitely. This director, this was his first feature film. I thought that was pretty impressive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Because this was based on a script, hashtag alone, and that was actually made as an American movie too. It came out the same year. This hashtag alive has an 88% or something on Rotten Tomatoes. The other one has like a 25.
Oh, wow.
And it just goes to show how you can take the same or very similar script and have different directors and actors and crew, and you can make a good movie or a bad movie from the same script, you know?
Yeah. And a very different movie, although I haven't seen this American one. It keeps popping up on my Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, not today.
25%. I'm not watching it.
I don't check Rotten Tomatoes very often.
I know. I'm into it more than most people.
I make most of my viewing decisions based on who is behind the film, like directors, writers, stars, producers. And I try not to watch trailers if I already think I'm going to watch the thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't like
spoilers.
You and I
are pretty similar.
Yeah, it's true. I had another point, but I realized it's a spoiler for some other movies, so I don't want to say it.
Okay. My only other point is, I just got to say, in my experience, the Koreans have a great track record with zombies. There's Train to Busan, excellent. Mm-hmm. Kingdom is great, and now this. So, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think there's a real tradition of horror in Korea. I mean, Americans are constantly remaking Korean horror movies. I think they're just dark as a people. Kind of like the Danes.
I mean, they have some weird thrillers, too, like Old Boy and some fucked up shit.
Yeah. Even Burning was fucked up.
Yeah. I love that movie.
Yeah, really good.
And Parasite, so great. All right. We had just a few listener responses here. You want to read the first one?
All right. Our first listener feedback is from Nate Piccini, who says, I love this movie. I really enjoyed the sense of isolation from the main character. It has some great jump scares as he tries to escape the complex.
Yep. Daphne Backman says, I really enjoyed hashtag alive. It's on my list to cover on Run for Your Lives. It's different from some of the other zombie films from Korea because the two protagonists live at the end. Usually they end with heartbreak or minimal hope. I hope the director, Il Cho, develops more projects because I appreciate his vision. That's a good point. We really didn't talk about that helicopter scene at the end. It was a little like when the helicopter comes up from behind the building.
Yeah.
A little bit of a trope, but I still thought it was pretty great. I like it when a zombie movie ends with a positive ending every once in a while. It doesn't always have to be bleak.
Yeah. And I enjoyed all the hashtag alone social media pop-ups as they were flying away. I thought that was a cute touch.
Mm-hmm. Right.
All right. Alma Contreras says, I watched this flick as soon as I saw y'all were going to do a podcast on it. I'm glad I did because I really liked it. I've said it before, but I got to say it again. The Koreans do really good with zombie movies. 3 exclamation marks. I really liked that they wasted no time with throwing us into the zombie outbreak. And these zombies are freaking scary. I think if we had these zombies in real life, I would most definitely be toast. LOL.
Yep.
Me too. Yeah.
No question about that. I mean, if I was down there trying to run away from him, I'd just get winded and fall over and eat lunch.
I'm a clumsy runner and I always twist my ankle. I'd be done.
Alma, that's so cool that you just watched it right away. I love that. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it too. All right, that is our show, episode 471. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for coming on, Penny. That was really fun.
I loved it. Thank you so much.
Enjoyed it. If you guys want to write in or leave us a message, like a voicemail, you can find all our contact information at podcastica.com.
And while you're there, be sure to check out our other shows. I'm really enjoying Strange Indeed right now. Stranger Things is fantastic. And Obi-Wan, equally fantastic, but in a very different way.
Yeah. Stranger Things was the show that Strange Indeed was born to cover, and this season has been my favorite so far.
Yeah.
And I'm loving their coverage, and yeah, we're covering Obi-Wan. There's 4 of us guys, geeky nerds, covering it. We're like switching off, 3 hosts per episode. It's been pretty fun. And I wanted to mention while you're on here that the plan is for you and probably Greg to cover She-Hulk Attorney at Law that comes out this August.
I'm excited about it. I've started reading She-Hulk comics to get up to speed because I haven't really read a lot of She-Hulk in the past. I'm just excited because I feel like I have a little bit of an insight into her life as like she joins a law firm, and I can talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Hopefully not too much.
When all the Marvel shows were getting announced, the ones I was most excited about were WandaVision, What If, and She-Hulk.
Really?
Nice. Yeah, because I like the She-Hulk comics, where she breaks the fourth wall and talks to the audience, and like Ferris Bueller style. And I hope they do that in the show too, or Deadpool. They might not do it because it might feel like too much of a Deadpool thing at this point, but I hope they do it.
And I just love Tatiana Maslany. She was so amazing in Orphan Black, and I've been wanting to see her in something new for a while.
Yeah, that'll be. I hope it's good. I mean, there's been some possible worrying talk that maybe it's not turning out as well, but I don't know. You never know with that stuff. Half the time, it turns out to be totally off base. So
yeah,
my fingers are crossed. And next episode of this podcast will be something. I don't know what, but it'll be before the end of the month.
It'll be number 472. We know that.
It'll be we know that. And it'll probably have Lucy and somebody else since I'll be in Hawaii.
Awesome.
And also I want to mention this episode is made possible by Patreon supporters like Sean Talmo, who've pledged their support at patreon.com/Jason Kabassi. Thank you, Sean. I'm surprised. Like, I thought my patron would start it going down